Friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming back to you after over a week of not being able to do any creating or any filming. My computer stopped working properly and I was unable to do any video editing and those kinds of things. We live in the country, so our internet is just really sketchy. So, and I had a computer that didn't have a lot of memory and a lot of processing power. So hopefully this is going to work better. So lots of testing and, reinstalling apps and all of that fun stuff. Not fun. So here I am back again, hopefully back in the routine. Thankfully, I had a backlog of videos already recorded and already prepped and uploaded. So I was able to, for you, it's probably going to be very seamless. For me, it was over a week of no crafting. So here we go. So today we're going to make a folio. This is for a swap that I'm doing on Junk Journaling for Everyone Facebook group. I've never done a swap before, so I'm super excited and nervous about it, but it should be really fun. So I prepped this over a week ago, all the papers, and got everything prepped and cut. So hopefully I'm going to be able to remember what I was planning on doing. So we're going to get going. So I'm using the Yummy Christmas kit from My Porch Prints. And so that's all you're going to see in this folio is that kit. So what I've done is I'm using envelopes. I'm using 3 envelopes that measure, looks like a 5 1/4 by 7 1/2-ish. I tried to find these on the Hobby Lobby website, and I couldn't find any brown craft envelopes in their listings there. So I did get them at Hobby Lobby. They're the Paper Studio brand. So I always shop that area when they're running their 50% off. So I did make, just as a off camera, I went ahead and this is my first kind of bookmark that I made, and I absolutely adore it. This was a bow out of some junk jewelry, not junk jewelry, but discarded jewelry that a friend gave me for mixed media. So I did play with that and create that off camera. And then I bought these at Hobby Lobby. I think they're just so cute. So I'm going to try to find a way to put that in the project here. So what we have again is a trifold folio, and on this side we've got a pocket with some goodies. And I am not going to leave these open because I don't need that many tuck spots. So there's already going to be tons of places for writing in just what we have here. In the middle, I have this envelope that I'm going to glue underneath here. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to remember all this because this is tricky. In fact, I might take some photos before we get started. So this will be glued on underneath here before I put this panel on, if I can hopefully remember. Created a belly band. This is just with a piece of the kit and some journaling cards. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and then I'm just going to try to put these in order, kind of off, out of sight for you guys, but got an extra little clamp. So that is, just going to write on the, well, I don't want to write on that because it might show. So let me grab a Post-it. So this is the middle ephemera. So I'm just going to do that. I have to have notes, otherwise I just get so discombobulated. And then this is the envelope that's going to tuck behind there. So I'm just going to, in fact, I can write right on here, tuck behind middle panel. And take note of this because it really helps to kind of put back together what your ideas were, especially if you're pre-planning. So that's what that is. That's going to go with that. And then this is just regular paper. I've cut all the paper down to size already. And then this is a little CD envelope here, so that we're going to put that this little image behind, or inside, excuse me. So I cut that card, and that's going to be able to be pulled out. It's actually a journaling card, which I'll show you as we get to that point. So I'm going to go ahead and put on here that this is the right panel And then this envelope piece is going to, the flap will tuck behind the panel, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put that over there. And then everything else is pretty, I should be okay with this side. It's pretty generic, so I'm just going to set that over here too. It's the flippy things that, that I get a little bit turned around about. So we're just going to set that aside. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do all of my inking on all of these pieces. So we've got the 3 pieces on the front and the 3 pieces on the back. So I will probably cut that out of the video and catch up with you in a few minutes. Okay, just going to finish up inking these. While I was doing this and kind of had the camera off, I went ahead and wrote on the back of each of these panels too, just so that I don't get confused about where I wanted things positioned. So, and then I'm going to show you the scoring that I did on the envelopes, so that hopefully it will work better than the previous video. I did an envelope journal that you will have already seen on the channel, using the oh goodness, I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's a Tailor-Made Journals kit, an autumn kit. So, but what I neglected to do on that journal is I scored it on this side where I was going to put my signature, but I didn't score it on this side as wide. And so I ended up having some problems with that. So on each of these envelopes, I scored at 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch. So we've got an 1/8 of an inch score line difference here, as well as over here. So hopefully that's going to help me be able to do this a little bit better. So obviously we're going to start with putting these together. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, because this is going to tuck into this envelope here as a first place to start. I'm going to use, I just got this Barely Arts glue. I'm going to give it a try. Right now I can't get a refill on my art glitter glue because of the weather. So I'm just trying to see where I think this just needs to go around the edge here. Whoops. So we're just going to glue this in. I haven't created for a while, so warning ahead of time, this could be a rough video. So I get out of practice. My brain is old, so I don't retain all that stuff from time to time. So I'm just sliding it in so that I don't, I'm below that score line, the first score line. So I'm going to show you that. So this is the first score line, and this is the interior one. So that's where we want that. I am going to go ahead and glue this. Actually, how is this going to work? Did I do that right? Did I do that right? Yes. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this flap down, because I don't need that. It's not a functional piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. I'm trying to get this done and get it out in the mail here soon. Hopefully the person who's receiving it will get it quickly. So I'm going to probably post this one out a little bit just to ensure that there's time for her to receive it before the video goes up. So, and I'm minding this, that's that interior score line. So this interior one here is the one that I'm making sure that I'm gluing with that, allowing that gap there. So I'm just doing that, just giving that a good press. And that just allows for a little bit more ability to kind of bulk this up a little bit. So I did not leave this on. So I think that's just supposed to glue on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this flap to the back of this piece. I like it, this art glitter glue. It comes out super easy without much squeezing. The art glitter glue in the bottle it comes in, it's almost impossible for me to squeeze it these days. This is nice. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and glue that down. So I'm just going to open this back up. So again, it's going to go on the back side of the middle envelope. And I am again minding that score line. And I believe somebody told me that you get a little bit more wiggle room with the Bearly Arts glue. I think that Evie told me that in a comment. So I appreciate that, Evie. I have never used it. I've heard of it before, but I had never given it a try. So here you can see our score lines on the back as well. So that's going to hopefully help us to be able to add some bulk here to the journal. So I'm going to turn this back the way it's supposed to go. And I think we're going to go ahead and do the middle piece, the inside pieces first. So we've got our inside panel right. So that's this one over here. So we're going to go ahead and glue that on. Oh, I have to be thinking about those other pieces. So backing up, sorry guys. We need to prep this envelope first because this is going to go in on the right panel on the inside. So what I did, the way I made this is I used my Big Shot and a circle die to be able to just effortlessly put that on there. So, and then let's see what we've got. Oh, and that's the inside. So that's the journaling card. And I was going to put this little tabby on there. So let me do the inking on this really quick as well. We don't want that white to show because this is a grungy project, or grungier than white anyways, if that makes any sense. So for those of you who watched, I just watched back the video that I did, that I posted on what was it? It posted yesterday, I believe, so the 13th of November, and I did a paper bag journal, and I kept saying envelope journal, envelope journal, envelope. I was so embarrassed. So what I forgot to do, though, is I don't have a piece for the back of this. So I'm going to have to grab that. Let me pause just a quick second and grab another piece of paper. Just a moment. Okay, so I found another piece. I went ahead and cut it down to size and inked around the edges. It's part of the problem that I have with preparing this stuff, getting everything ready, is sometimes I do miss parts just because I'm not, I'm not perfect. So, but it's easily fixed. So there we've got that. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this piece on here. This is the first video I'm doing on the new computer, so I've been successful at doing my editing, getting all my editing software and compression software on the new computer, but this is actually the first video. And surprisingly, the camera, I have no microphone. I mean, it's like really, really low, so I had, thankfully, last year at Christmas time, my daughter bought me a microphone, a USB microphone, so I'm using that, hoping that that's going to be good going forward. So there, we've got that on there. I'm going to go ahead and use my paper towel, if I can find what I did with it, and just give that a press. And then we're going to go ahead and I do want to take a look here really quick and see, I was concerned about this and how well this little tabby thing was going to work on the journaling card. I think it's going to be okay. It's not going to be able to stick out very much. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over, and I'm just being mindful again of the direction because it's going to glue, this flap is going to glue on under the right side panel. So I'm going to turn it directly that way so that I don't put this image on upside down. There we go. So we've got that. That's going to be good. It's a little bit tight there, but that's all right. So let me just look at this. I think I've got some overhang here on this side in a couple of places. So, oh, it's because that one's crooked now. Doggone it. Oh, we can move it a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. And again, as I mentioned in every video, guys, perfection is not the name of the game here. If what you're doing brings you joy, then do that thing and don't worry about it turning out the way that you pictured it. My art rarely does. It doesn't matter what kind of art I'm doing. It rarely ends up the way that I planned it or the way that I see it in my mind. And that's okay. So there we go. So we've got that. Just making sure that those edges are nice and sealed. So I'm going to turn it back over, and then let's go ahead and put this journaling card together. So again, it's going to go in. So I forgot to tell you, I did open this side, so I just cut a sliver of the CD pocket off so that I could slide this in. So it's going to go in here. I'm right-handed, so that's tricky. There we go. So, and then I'm going to put this little tabby thing on the side. But again, because of where it's positioned, I can't have very much of it sticking out. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this really quick. We'll get on with the rest of this. I love this kit. I have so many Christmas kits though, guys. I think I have, my plan is, let me just tell you what my plan is so that you guys can check back. So I'm going to do a Christmas journal using the Winter Wonderland My Porch Prints kit, and it's going to be a regular size journal, and it's going to be a giveaway. I'm going to do a small journal using this kit, the Yummy Christmas kit, My Porch Prints. I'm going to do a Christmas folio using Angela Kerr's Christmas kit. I'm going to do a stacking envelope pocket journal using Tealed and Tattered Christmas kit, and I'm going to do a mini journal using Cherish Horse Christmas kit, and then we'll see beyond that. So it's going to be busy, but I work for the school, so I get some time off at Thanksgiving, so I'll have a 5-day weekend there, and then a two-week Christmas break. So I'm really, really happy about that, obviously. So I've got my Barely Arts glue is just oozing out here. There we go. So I'm just going to glue, and again, because this can't stick out much, I'm gonna glue all the way to this edge here, where that kind of cut happens. Gosh, I can't talk today. We got my daughter moved yesterday. Went really fast. We had lots of help, so glad to have her in her new rental. Really happy for her. Been kind of a hard time. I'm going to set this down so I can get it on there straight. So she's a strong woman, though. I'm so proud of her. Really proud of her. There we go. So I'm just going to push that down. Oh, that's backwards. Doggone it. I wanted it to go. You know what? Maybe I can change it. This is art glitter, or this is a Barely Arts glue. So yay! If that was art glitter glue, I would not be able to move it. I can tell you that. So I wanted the red because I just want that pop of color. So, and as you can see, I did have to not have it stick out too much. So that's going to go in this little pocket. And just like that. So it'll be able to stick out, so you'll be able to see that, she'll be able to see that it's actually a little journaling spot there. So now we can get back to this because we've got that created. So this is going to go, and it had to go on before this piece as well, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue here and get that put on that around the edge of that envelope. And so let's see, just kind of turn this so I can get it straight. I do want it sort of centered here. Again, perfection is not what I'm looking for, but I do want it to be nice. So there we go. So let's go ahead and flip that open and make sure that it's straight there. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on. This was the inside right panel. So I'm gonna use my my bigger art glitter glue because it's a bigger area to cover. I don't want to use all of my Barely Arts glue. Just going to put that right there. Just making sure it's nice and straight. Giving it a good press. Okay, and while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and put that, well, you know what, I don't want to go out of order. If you guys are following this as an actual kind of tutorial process, I want to keep it as clear as possible. So I'm just going to move from panel to panel and work on each. And this has copy dyed paper on the back, and I realize that's kind of wasteful because I'm gluing it down, but I pretty much now do double-sided on all of my prints just because I can minimize bulk by not having to back things with copy dyed paper if I need a writing space. So by just putting the glue there, I'm obviously preserving that pocket. So that's the reason for that. And I'm just going to put this in place here. And then I'm just going to wiggle until I feel like it's nice and straight. And then I'm just going to press. And then I'm going to get my metal ruler and make sure that there's no glue interfering with that pocket. Let me grab that really quick. So I'm just going to stick my ruler in here just to make sure that that's all open. We do need a little bit more glue here. I do find that this glue doesn't feel, I don't know if it's as strong. Maybe it just needs more drying time. We'll see. It's my first time using it, so hopefully it's going to be okay. So I will just put some journaling spots in there, or some paper in there. I'm going to put a hole punch though, circle punch. I should have done that first, but hopefully I can do this. So just a second, guys. I need to turn it. There we go. Hopefully I can do this without destroying anything. Oh, that's coming up. I need to re-glue that. This is a lot of pressure on this spot, so I'm just going to put a thumb notch there. There we go. Now she'll be able to see that it's actually a pocket, which is lovely. So, you know what? I'm not real fond of that. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue and get this really situated, because I don't know if that Barely Arts glue just needs more time to dry. And if that's the case, I don't know that I care for it. I think for some things it's going to be great, but not for everything. So there we go. So there are our panels on the middle. Oh, I forgot. Doggone it. I forgot. Darn it. I put this panel on, and I needed to put that other piece in there. Let me see what's the best way to fix this. Oh, darn. I'm so sad. Hang on. Darn it. I should have kept this stuff in front of me. This was supposed to go in here. So I suppose what we could do is just... Gosh darn. I'm so sad that I did that. I think what I'll do is I'll just cut another piece of paper. I guess you guys get to see more of my errors here, which I don't mind you seeing that stuff. So while we're here, we'll just go ahead and prep this. So I did make a tiny paper clip. It's a hidden paper clip with the number 25 on it. So as you can see, you can't see the paper clip because it is in here. So I love doing those. So let me find another piece of paper here. I had a really nice comment on the paper bag journal from a lot of people actually saying that they really appreciated that I didn't cut out the mistakes. and that they were able to see me struggle. And that's really helpful feedback for me, because I am a perfectionist. So it's hard for me to do that. It's really hard for me to just be raw and out there. I mean, I'm raw and out there because the way I share on my blog and the way I share even in my videos about what I'm creating and why, and like what the inspiration is. I'm pretty darn vulnerable and transparent. So, but I don't want people to lose interest because of the mistakes, I guess, is my concern too. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on, and then that way we can glue this right onto the page. It was, yeah, interesting. Not going to overthink that anymore. It is what it is. So there we go. Just going to use my art glitter glue. I am not feeling it with that art glitter, or that Barely Arts glue. I'll have to check with Evie and see if she knows if it's just takes longer to dry and set than the art glitter glue. But we'll look into it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on this little flap, just trying to get it in place as evenly as possible. I'd rather go over because I can always trim it off. It looks to be pretty darn good. I don't really need to worry about the trimming because it's going to be glued down. So additionally, I want to go ahead and I'm going to ink the bits that go in this part. I will speed through that, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, so this is done being inked. So I've got so many crumbs here. I hate those crumbs. Okay, so I've inked everything, and then I remember what I was going to do with this. I'm folding it up like it's a coin envelope, but I'm not going to glue it. I really like leaving this as a journaling spot, so that's what I'm going to do with that. And I might tuck another surprise in there for the recipient, but for now we're just going to leave it. I always struggle with these envelopes, guys, so it is a trip. So we're going to go ahead and glue these flaps closed. There and there. I think I'd struggle with these flaps because I print on heavy paper. I think this is 60-pound paper, but I like it, and so that's what I do. I really like the heavy stock of the paper. So we've got that, and then we've got, we're going to pull the folio over here so we can get this on here. So because I covered that up, probably what I'll do is I'll just do a cute little cluster on here, because that's going to be not tucked underneath, but it still has the same effect in that this is a pocket, and it's just that I've got this extra bit showing that I wasn't planning on. And oh, actually, I was going to put a belly band on here. So, yeah, we're just gonna go with it and see what happens. So I'm sorry to be losing this image here because it's so pretty, but it's an envelope that I'm using from the kids. So, and the way that I'm using it just is eliminating this being visible, which is okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on, and again, I'm aiming for the middle, like so. Again, not looking for perfection, just sort of moderately straight and in a good position. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So, and then I went ahead and inked the 2 tags that are going to go in here. I'm not going to do much. Well, you know what? Actually, let's go ahead and put a little bit of stuff on here, because I had another thing that this one of my viewers, Evie, commented that she really missed on the last one. She missed the little added elements of the words and the clusters and things that I create with my sentiments. So bit tricky. I'm going to put the glue directly on that lace. You guys can see that okay. And then we're just going to pop that button on there. Give it a press with my paper towel. Oh, goodness. Pulled it up. I'm having trouble with adhesive today, it seems. There we go. So these are going to go in this pocket, but I'm going to set these aside so it has plenty of time to dry before we start putting stuff in. So there we go. So that is what's going to tuck in there. So now we've got, I do need to deal with this whole belly band issue. So I was going to do a belly band here. And I'm just wondering, I think it'll still be okay. It just looks a little bit weird here because of that. But I definitely want those additional pieces to tuck. So I'm going to go ahead and do the inking here, and I'll cut that out or speed through it and be right back with you. Okay, so those are inked. Even though I'm not real thrilled about this, I'm going to just go with it. It's just a little bit different element, which means I won't be able to do a cluster there, as I thought maybe we'll do a little bit of a cluster there instead. So I'm going to go ahead and apply glue just to the top and the bottom of this to create the belly band. So there we go. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I really want to do anything there. Let's go ahead and, because we've got a little bit of bulk here, I think I'll put maybe a word there. And hopefully this is all going to slide in here okay. They should, because they're both the same size. I think we're safe to get them in here now. Like so. And then that might have a little bit of trouble there, but well. And then, oh, I know, I don't really want to do anything on that because remember we've got this envelope, and again, I'm not going to glue it. This is a coin envelope, and it's going to just attach here. Maybe we'll put the little cluster on that. Or if I do that, then you won't be able to easily write on it, so maybe not. I just love the clusters. We'll see what we can do here as we go along. Just going to go ahead and paper clip that on. Sweetness. Awesome. I could do a little cluster here. I feel like I need to do that. So again, I'm going to go ahead and pull some of this lace. Hopefully I can just make it really stretch in my processes here because it's so beautiful. It's so lovely. So I think I'm going to do a regular cluster that I typically do. So let me grab some little scraps of coffee dyed paper here. I really like to incorporate coffee dyed paper into a cluster. So I've just got a piece here. And I like to tear all the edges, make it really rough. And then generally what I do as a second layer is I'll get a scrap from the kit. Super easy way to create a cluster. So I've got scraps all around me, so let me find one that will work. This would probably be good. So how about we do the claws part of Santa Claus here. Whoops, tore that the wrong way. It's not really going to show because of there's going to be a sentiment on top of it, but it's a nice addition. I love it anyway. May not be everybody's cup of tea. There we go. So let's ink that up too. Perfect. Yes. Oh, I love it. Awesome. So let's go ahead and glue that on really quick. The clusters always make me happy. I had a lot of just really sweet visual interest. I'm just going to kind of slide it there so it's in the middle of that little flap. And then we're going to glue that on as well. I'm thinking I want a piece of the lace underneath it, so I'm going to trim this off. There. We're going to put a piece under, like so. Oh, well, I guess our glitter glue will work too. I always grab for the Fabri-Tac for gluing on pieces like this, but we're going to go ahead and put that there. And then I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac for sure on this, because we're going to glue it right onto that lace. There we go, claws. Love it. So it's not, only a little bit peeks through, but that's okay. Actually, I'm going to try to pull that a little bit down so that we get a little bit more visibility of that lace. There we go. That's better. Sweet. And then we're going to put a little word on there. So what do we say here? Comfort and joy. I think that's a great one. These words are not from this kit. These words are the red Christmas words from my porch prints, but there's just a lot of different choices there, so I wanted to go ahead and use those. I'm going to trim this a little bit. It's a little bit long for the space I'm putting it, and I do need to have something else underneath it, otherwise it's going to look weird. It's going to look weird on top. Word on top of word is kind of strange, so let's just do another little piece of this coffee dyed paper. Ink that up. This is coffee dyed paper from my stash. I do my coffee dyed paper on 65-pound paper. I'm going to go ahead and glue this word on first onto the, actually, we're just going to go for the gusto here. I'm sorry that is off camera, you guys. Let me move that up. Goodness. I'm going to go ahead and use my Fabri-Tac and glue another piece of lace on here. So when I constructed this, I created it and allowed for that bulk. So there we go. I love that. So I am going to put some, sticking all over everything, some Fabri-Tac on here too. I already put the art glitter glue, but that's okay. Double trouble. We're going to just put that on there like so. Yeah. Yay. It's going to give that a press here. We're going to put that on there. Love it. I'm going to just use art glitter glue since we're just gluing paper to paper. And we're just going to, we're going to have to cover claws, but that's okay. We know it's there. It's peeking through. That's what counts. So there we go. Oh my gosh, this is adorable. I hope I don't have trouble with these. You know what? I'm thinking I'm going to trim these tags off just a little bit because I don't want that pocket to be affected. So I'm just going to cut a sliver off the bottom. This part's going to be tricky because the lace is there, but I think I'll be okay. Just need a little bit more room. Sweet. I think that's going to be better. Yeah, that's better. I just don't want it to get destroyed when this folio closes, especially this one, this big one, because it's quite, come on. Oh, the paper clip is affecting that. That's why. So let's take the paper clip off. Oh goodness, the video's getting long, guys. So again, feel free to fast forward me. I don't sound delusional or what do you call that? Crazy. Goodness, that's just bulk. Well, we're just going to have to deal with it, guys. It's okay. Just going to put that paper clip back on. If you can see that, guys, I'm basically opening this up and then just sliding it on like so, and then the paper clip will catch when you push it. So there we go. And if you want to see how I make these, I do have a video on my channel, hidden paper clips. So there we go. I am loving this. So on here we have just a pocket with a couple of tags. So I'm going to quickly just do my inking and I'll be right back with you. Okay, all of the inking is done. I am debating on putting anything. I think I'm just going to leave this plain. I don't want to bulk that up too much. So let me just get this back in view. So this pocket is going to go over on this side, and I love how it's going to tie in everything to the right here. That just came off. Let me put that back on real quick. There we go. So a lot of bulk there, and I just used a tiny Tim Holtz paper clip. So if you know that you're going to be holding things that are a little bit thicker, you might want to do a bigger paper clip. So I'm just going to glue this on here to the panel. Just putting glue on the actual tabs here that they've created in the digital. Stephanie over at My Porch Prints. And as usual, all the supplies will be linked over on my blog, and a link to the blog is in the video description box. I do that because I have close-up photos and things, more photos than I actually put in the video, so it's a great way for you to be able to see all of that. So I'm just going to stick that. You know what? Because of the way that pocket's created, I'm wondering if we can stick something else on here. You know what? I might come back and add a little bit of bling to that later, but let's just continue to move along here. Got a journaling card that I inked while I was off camera, and I rounded the corners. So there we've got that, and so it's going to close like so. We're going to go ahead and turn this over. It's going to be a little bit tricky to work on because all the ephemera is in it. I maybe should have glued all the panels on first, but then I probably would have gotten even more confused. So that's okay. There we go. So we're just going to turn it, making sure that we're upside right. So I'm just taking my arms and twisting them and putting it down and then following this. So the back of it's not going to really have a whole lot going on. I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece on here. There we go. There we go. So, and then we've got the back right panel, which is this one. And it feels like it's, let me just close it up like that because it feels like it's wide. It is wide. And I think the reason why it's wide is because of that. Ooh, that's really hanging over. That's way hanging over. I need to trim that off, guys. Do you see this? That's not going to work. So let me go ahead and trim that off. Probably should wait for it to dry a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and risk it. Not sure how that happened. I think because I didn't allow for that scoring, that 1/8 of an inch scoring that I did. Just have to be really careful doing this because you don't want to cut your envelope open. So let's see. Oh, make sure I do this the right way. Goodness, that would be terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and try to glue this on now. I think it's a little bit wide. So I think I'm going to trim just a tad bit off of this edge. Just a sliver. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. This is just a craft with me. It's not meant to be a tutorial. Of course, if you gain learning from it, that's awesome. Oops. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and glue that on as well. I think I might leave, that's the right side. I think I might leave pockets on the top. In fact, I think I will. Executive decision. So I'll have to just stick something in there later, maybe some coffee dyed paper or something, or a big tag. We'll have to see how the bulk is going. So I'm going to go ahead and punch that hole, and I'm going to punch one in the top or the back left panel as well. It's going to cut through Christmas, but we know it's Christmas, right? I want to thank you guys, all you guys that are subscribing to my channel. It's just like the channel is blowing up. It's growing so fast. It's crazy. So grateful. There we go. So I'm just going to give that a good press as well. And then let's just take a look and see what everything looks like here. So this is going to close. I don't know. This closes in. And then I think I want this to be the cover, or maybe not. Maybe we'll do this be the cover because we've got a little bit more ability to decorate that. So I am going to do some trimming though, because this one is also hanging over way too much. Do you see that? And again, I think that's just because I didn't allow for that scoring bit that I did. It's imperfect, but I think it's still really beautiful. Oops, that one completely came undone. Probably because I'm messing with it too much. It's always a good idea to let things dry before you start bending and moving things. So I just tend to be a little bit impatient. So go ahead and ink that up a bit. And then we're going to ink this up a bit. As long as I don't bend that paper, we'll be fine. So there we go. So last, I think what I'll do is, I think I'm not going to decorate the cover on camera. I'll let that be a surprise for you guys. You can check out the photos at the end of the video. So what we have here is it's going to close like this. I'm going to probably just put some lace or something to hold it closed. And I'll do a little bit of embellishing. We've got some great space here to do that. And then it opens up and we've got our little pocket with some tags and a little book. Open this one up. We've got our little CD holder with a journaling card. And here we just, this probably could have something added to it. I'll have to look and see how the bulk is going. And then we've got our little coin envelope with a hidden paper clip, belly band with 3 journaling cards. And this seems to be something is, oh, that's that envelope edge. Keep forgetting about that. So I might take another look at this and see if I've got enough room to put something here, maybe a pocket or something. We'll see. So I'm just going to close this and just take another look at it and see if I've got any room to do that. I do probably have some room to do that because I created this so that we've got that much room to add bulk on both sides. So that was an excellent move, if I don't say so myself. So that is it. So we are done. I'm going to go ahead and decorate this offline, and you'll be able to see pictures at the end of the video though. So head on over to the blog and check out the close-up photos and all of that stuff. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.